indie developer, Android application development, and profit-making. Independent developers' calculations of work are unusual for Android application development. They do not function like a development company. The exact estimate for work offered and the profits rough calculation cannot be done in advance. With advancement in custom Android apps development, the market is already flourished with a variety of apps. In such condition, it becomes difficult for the indie developer to survive the competition from huge corporate. However, there are examples of independent developers being successful in the Android market. Most indie developers take up the occupation for an extra part-time income. Taking up the freelance status in a career is still not widely acknowledged in the Android application development. Even though the indie developer's career is surrounded by constraints, it still offers a certain amount of profit if handled smartly. The Android application development market is certainly not a virgin market. However, that does not mean an investor cannot have a good return on investment. It is high time indie developers understand the advantages of having liberation from the traditional constraints. Download charges. This is the most apparent method of earning the money by selling the app on Google Play. When users purchase the app, Google keeps a certain amount and owner claims the rest. Remember, users will purchase the app only if it is particularly incomparable. Independent developers. If a revolution in custom Android apps development is to be set, indie developers can have a significant role in it. However, it is obvious that a movement often is required to be supported financially. Let us have a look at 3 major methods on how an indie developer can earn from Android app. Advertise. It is also a good option to earn through advertisement in the application. However, it is essential to create the app creatively. Only an engaging app attracts the advertisers to make an investment. If similar apps are already available in the market, the chances are less of the app being successful in the market. In-app purchases. In this method, real or digital products are sold through the app. It can be anything like selling extra weapons in a war game, to charging extra for additional chances in a racing game. Though the products are virtual, the cash transaction being carried out isn't. It totally depends on the imagination of the indie developer to implement this technique smartly. However, there are examples of independent developers being successful in the Android market. Most indie developers take up the occupation for an extra part-time income. Taking up the freelance status in a career is still not widely acknowledged in the Android